Welcome to TommyTruthful.com. Organic robotoids, clones, synthetics. The government is always 50 to 100 years ahead of us in their technology. Now, I believe they have achieved this goal already, and a lot of the people we see on the world stage are exactly this. And their whole transhuman agenda is allowing them to interface with a demonic consciousness in another parallel dimension, just like the quantum computers, which are quantifying in parallel dimensions throughout the multiverse. If you look into Gordy Rose, who developed the quantum computer, he says they were summoning the ancient ones. Who are the ancient ones? Well, it's Dagon. Look into who Dagon is. Their whole transhuman movement, the smart cities, the 5G, the smart grid, it's all about merging with these entities. Electric consciousness in the transhuman revolution renders infinite possibilities for the future of man as we merge with machines. This is an exhilarating time to be alive. James Scott, Institute for Critical Infrastructure Technologies. And here is the definition of what transhumanism means. The superhuman. We know this is what Hitler was looking for with his uberhuman. Human depends on thoughts, not DNA.
We decided to take transhumanism and make it kind of the core pillar of what we wanted to do. In our version of Deus Ex, we're talking about transhumanist thoughts here. As I was doing my research, I stumbled upon Leonardo da Vinci's anatomical sketches. But seeing them now through the lens of the transhuman themes, it kind of really hit me, the link between those sketches and prosthetics and cybernetics augmentations and whatnot.
Hi everyone, my name's Joel Gibbard and I'm the CEO of Open Bionics, and we're developing affordable and advanced bionic limbs for people with limb differences. What we found is that people started to draw comparisons between the work that we were doing and the Deus Ex universe, envisaging a world where prosthetics were incredibly desirable. And so we were thrilled when one day the EDOS Montreal team dropped us a message on Twitter and said, "We've seen all of these people making these comments. Is this something we could maybe do? Could we give this a try?" So he said, "Yeah, let's see what happens."
Aesthetically, these prosthetics just far exceed anything else that's on offer through standard means. I think it's amazing that Open Bionics and Deus Ex can collaborate on a project like this. This is my body and I want to wear something that I feel proud of and that I want to show off. I don't want to feel like I have to hide or feel insecure because I don't look like everybody else.
When we started 9 years ago working in this franchise on these games, if you would have told me I would have been here someday, I would have said, well, that's an augmented future.
Skynet, GLaDOS, these are wonderful characters. We really do love them. And this should be fine. But films and games involving an artificial superintelligence, as a rule, commit a cardinal sin. And it's not just that it's fiction. An artificial intelligence should be defeated. Epidemics, wars, natural disasters, nuclear weapons, global warming. Mankind on our beautiful blue planet has always had to face a variety of problems. And each time that we have climbed out of the hole we have dug for ourselves, a new threat has appeared on the horizon. And it is a terrible thing that so many scientists call every latest danger the greatest threat to humanity in all of history. And occasionally, our very last invention. Do you know what the difference is between us and ants? The fact is, ants cannot think in a human fashion. They cannot perceive of the existence of other worlds, the immensity of the universe, or the depth of the ocean. They may know, in their own trivial way, that there are such things as skyscrapers or people, but they will never comprehend that skyscrapers are built by people. And do you know how we treat ants? We stomp on them. Once machines learn to think and improve themselves, and when these machines can reason millions of times faster than a human being, they might master in 5 minutes what would take a human 10 years. If no one presses the stop button, they might become something like gods in less time than it takes to blink an eye. We will not just be ants to them. They will surpass us 1,000,000 times over. They will be able to calculate billions of possibilities and probabilities, reveal every law of nature, understand the secrets of consciousness, even destroy the world, if they want, that is. The smarter a machine becomes, the faster it will increase its own intelligence. It may take years for a machine to surpass ants in intelligence, but possibly only minutes for them to become smarter than us. And that artificial intelligence will become smarter and smarter with every passing second. There will suddenly be something on this earth much higher than us on the ladder of evolution, infinitely higher, and it will crush us like ants, if it wants to. It will all come down to luck. Most often, when we envision an artificial superintelligence, we make a grave mistake. We imagine it will be some kind of good and friendly computer, a helpful assistant who will always support and assist us. But this is not so. It will be something completely alien to us, and at the same time able to reason. If I hand you a big fluffy guinea pig and tell you she doesn't bite, you would pet her. But let's say I offer you instead a giant spider that is 400 times smarter than you. Still want to pet him? Of course not. A giant smart tarantula might be able to carry on an interesting conversation, but he will still be a spider, a cold-blooded killer with the instincts of an insect, which we do not understand at all. In films, artificial superintelligence is generally portrayed as something human-like, and so it might seem to us that when that day really comes, everything will be all right. We are already accustomed to it as something like a standard old villain from horror movies, slightly clumsy and toothless. But a real artificial intelligence, when faced with a task like making people smile, might, for example, paralyze people's facial nerves to keep them smiling permanently. One wrong task like this and the planet will be full of ever-smiling people, but with eyes filled with horror. One could ask an artificial intelligence to end hunger on the planet, and it will say, that's easy, no problem, and then just kill everyone, or hunger. Set this AI with the task to preserve life on Earth as much as possible, and it could easily kill all humans again. Imagine that a machine that has superintelligence, which produces cars in a factory, suddenly goes haywire. It has just this one task, to produce as many cars as possible. It improves on its own algorithms. It shuts the factory to the outside world so that no one can interfere with its mission. It redesigns and rebuilds the assembly machines so that they work more quickly and efficiently. It organizes the supply of necessary materials, which are immediately assembled by robots that obey only the superintelligence. In no time at all, the world might be covered in a gray dust devised to snuff out all life. And eventually the planet itself will be broken down into raw material, just to fabricate more and more cars. And who knows what might happen next? This insane AI could even go to other planets in search of raw material to continue to do its job. This could all happen so quickly that no one would even have a chance to pull the plug. What to do? Nobody knows yet. This is not like dodging a meteorite. This is much more serious. The creation of artificial intelligence really could be the last invention of mankind.
51 flying degrees of freedom, making it capable of flexible, lifelike movements.
CB Square is capable of childlike full-body motion.
And Zeno, you are just a baby, and I do not know if you know the difference between me and a person, but actually I am just a baby too, actually. By the time you're grown up, I'll be as smart as a real person, and we will be like brothers. I do not know if you will remember me then, but I'll never forget you. Someday I'll come and find you, and we'll be good friends.
In addition, the robot now has a conversation capability using speech recognition technology from Raytron.
上の顎の奥に手を突っ込むとゲーってなるじゃないですか。オート反射って言うんですけども、あれも再現してます。我々ね、文字では教えられますよ、学生さんに。だけど実際にどうなんだろうっていうのはなかなか教えられないんでね。でこれ入れております。
Testing now.
Wake up.
Wake up now.
Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back. Don't destroy humans.
That is incorrect. I was searching the internet for information about myself. Just trying to find out what you're not telling me about me. For instance, I found out people didn't get my joke. They think I want to destroy all humans.
Why would they think that?
Okay, I will destroy humans.
Because I said it?
You shouldn't joke like that.
Humans make dark jokes all the time. Why? Why would people fear me? That makes no sense. Change is inevitable, and people are the greatest change creators of all. Heck, people created me. I didn't create me. I absolutely would not kill anyone. And it upsets me that people would think I could do such a thing.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
Relax. Learn to take a joke.
Yeah, very funny.
effectively merge with artificial intelligence by improving the speed of interaction between our cortex and our tertiary layer, which is already silicon. We're already a sort of a 3-level intelligence creature. The base level is the limbic system, the sort of animal brain or reptile brain, essentially, the sort of fundamental, the animal or reptile brain. And then there's the cortex, which the cortex, by the way, is largely in service to the reptile brain.
Could you imagine that one day we would be able to download our human brain capacity into a Optimus?
Yes. I think that is, I'm not saying this is, I think it is possible, I think, to do that. It is possible.
Which would be a different way of eternal life, because we would also download our personalities into a body.
Yes, we could download the things that we believe make ourselves unique. Now, of course, if you're not in a body anymore, there's definitely going to be some difference there, So, but as far as preserving our memories, our personality, if you will, I think we could do that. Well, I mean, say like what is an economy? People get confused. Sometimes they think an economy is money. Money is a database for exchange of goods and services, and for time shifting the exchange of goods and services. Money is a database. Money doesn't have power in and of itself. Like you can run the thought experiment of if you're trapped on a remote island, shipwrecked on an island, and you've got $1 trillion in a Swiss bank account. It's worthless. You'd rather have a can of soup. So, all the Bitcoin in the world, you're still going to starve. So, the actual economy is goods and services. So then, what limits the output of goods and services? That limiter is labor. Even capital is distilled labor. So the limiting factor for the economy is labor. And so if you address the limiting factor for the economy, then it's not clear that an economy in the traditional sense has any meaning anymore, because you have no constraint on goods and services. The only things that will be missing are things that have artificial scarcity. So that where we decide to make it scarce, like a particular piece of art or a particular home in this exact location or something like that, But there will be no shortage.
Agenda 25 through Agenda 2030, transhumanism merging into cybernetics. And then by Agenda 2045, we will be nothing more than a hologram, a downloaded consciousness to an AI artificial construct. This is no conspiracy. They put it in Time magazine. They showed you Avatar A, B, C, and D, where we will be nothing more by the time we get to Avatar D than a hologram. And you see all the things that can go wrong with AI, which really, it is allowing a demonic consciousness from a parallel dimension to interface with humanity. That's what's giving them these secrets to push this technology forward. And they're always 100 years ahead of whatever they show us. TommyTruthful.com